Let's move on to our next session. This is about the next decade belongs to our India, but the question is, does it belong to our practice? We are in the Amrit Kaal of mutual fund distributors to show us how to evolve from a seller to a wealth architect. From a seller to a wealth architect. That's the quite interesting phase out here in this new era. Let us welcome Mr. Gaurav Goyal from Canara Robeco.
So first of all, a very big thank you to Alpa ji for organizing this entire event. और ये event नहीं है, ये actually Wealth Summit यात्रा, I would say, which started at Bombay Stock Exchange. And पूरा भारत आप travel कर रहे हो, हर distributors को साथ में जोड़ रहे हो. I think so big congratulations to Alpa ji and thank you so much for producing this entire yatra. Director Sandeep ji and Shrikant bhai, I think clearly a big round of applause to both Alpa ji, Director Shrikant ji and Shrikant bhai and और आप सभी इस यात्रा के सुपरस्टार आप हो, तो बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज टू ईच वन ऑफ यू बिकॉज असली वेल्थ क्रिएटर तो आप ही हो, करेक्ट, जो वेल्थ क्रिएशन होगा इन्वेस्टर का. तो आज का जो आपके साथ कुछ पर्सपेक्टिव शेयर करना चाहता हूँ वो ये कि आज हम सब everybody is talking about Amrit Kaal, correct? कि Amrit Kaal का period है, but what does it mean for Amrit Kaal? For mutual fund industry particularly, what does it mean? What does it mean for our investors? और ये Amrit Kaal period में किसका पैसा बनेगा? Who will be the wealthy investors in it? So first of all, I think अगर आप चूंकि मेरे को सिर्फ अभी 12 मिनट ही हैं तो मैं I'll run it few slides very fast, but ये निक मरे ने बोला है कि वेल्थ इज नॉट डिटरमाइंड बाय इन्वेस्टमेंट परफॉर्मेंस बट बाय इन्वेस्टर बिहेवियर. तो सिर्फ एक ही डिटरमाइंड है. व्हाइल आई वाज लिसनिंग टू चांदनी एंड शी वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट फंड मैनेजमेंट एंड आई थिंक बट मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि वी प्ले अ लॉट ऑफ एम्फेसिस इन टर्म्स ऑफ द मार्केट्स एंड अदर एस्पेक्ट, बट द ओनली वन एस्पेक्ट विच वी नीड टू रियली टेक केयर ऑफ इज बिहेवियर. और अगर वो बिहेवियर, बिकॉज दैट इज द मोस्ट डिटरमाइनिंग फैक्टर जो कि बताएगा कि वेल्थ क्रिएट होगा. कार्ल रिचर्ड्स ने बोला है कि हमेशा लेकिन हमारे जो इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं उनके इन्वेस्टर रिटर्न और इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न में गैप है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं फंड रिटर्न और फोलियो रिटर्न, करेक्ट. हमारे इन्वेस्टर का रिटर्न कम है लेकिन फंड का रिटर्न जाता होता है. और ये जो गैप है, इस गैप को अगर कोई पूरा कर सकता है तो वो बिहेवियरल कोच कर सकते हैं. और वो बिहेवियरल कोच, ऑल ऑफ यू आर द बिहेवियरल कोचेज. और वही डेलबार का एक स्टडी था यूएस में और उन्होंने दे रन दैट स्टडी एवरी ईयर और 30 साल का उन्होंने स्टडी किया. और व्हाट दे फाउंड आउट इज दैट जो एवरेज इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर है उसका सिर्फ 10% का रिटर्न है, कैगर रिटर्न, जबकि इंडेक्स का 11% कैगर रिटर्न है. सो फॉरगेट अबाउट आउट परफॉर्मिंग द बेंचमार्क, इन्वेस्टर्स टुडे आर नॉट इवन मीटिंग द बेंचमार्क एंड दैट्स द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. सो और ये जो गैप है, इस गैप को अगर कोई भी गैप को ब्रिज कर सकता है तो वो आप सब लोग कर सकते हैं, विच इज थ्रू योर बिहेवियरल कोचिंग टू योर इन्वेस्टर्स एंड यू कैन हेल्प देम actually building up in the entire wealth creation journey. Vanguard ने भी एक स्टडी किया और Vanguard ने एक एडवाइजर अल्फा स्टडी किया और उस स्टडी में बताया कि आज उन्होंने क्वांटिफाई किया उसको कि ये जो एडवाइजर अल्फा है उससे 200 बेसिस पॉइंट का आउट परफॉर्मेंस जनरेट होता है किसी भी इन्वेस्टर के पोर्टफोलियो में. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटी, ह्यूज कंट्रीब्यूशन ईच वन ऑफ यू plays in the investors wealth creation journey by your coaching, and that is very very important and core to the wealth creation. अमृत काल की हम बात करते हैं तो ये मैं कुछ डेटा आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूँ. एंड व्हाट डज इट मीन, आई थिंक टू गेट दैट पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ अमृत काल, बिकॉज दिस इज वन अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ 25 years which is once in lifetime. Which is, and we all are blessed that okay we are here in this अमृत काल opportunity. आज जब हम जीडीपी की बात करते हैं कि हमारा $30 trillion का जीडीपी हो जाएगा, what does it mean? तो म्यूचुअल फंड के लिए if you look at from an opportunity perspective, it will जीडीपी हमारा 9 गुना 10 गुना बढ़ेगा, it will be 9 times 10 times, but our AUM of mutual fund will actually grow more than 50x. So 5 times more than what the GDP growth rate is. If you look at number of retail investors, retail AUM, institutional AUM, so it's not a incremental growth which we are going to get. Keep 10%, 15%, 20% growth. What we are talking about is a multiplier growth, and that is what the Amrit Kaal period is. So clearly now when you are looking at your business, I think start thinking about that multiple growth and not about the incremental growth. बहुत बड़ी opportunity we all know. We are the most populous country. We are the young population, the most aspirational country in the entire globe. But when you look at in terms of the number of unique investors, those who are in mutual fund, we know that the penetration is even लेस देन 4%. तो बहुत बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी है. एक अमृत काल पीरियड में जो म्यूचुअल फंड का AUM है वो 50 गुना से ज़्यादा होने वाला है, मोर देन 50 टाइम्स, एंड एट द सेम टाइम व्हेन यू लुक एट द पेनिट्रेशन इज लेस देन 4%. सो यू कांट गेट द you have best of both in terms of the opportunities. And these are some of the views of the global leaders like McKinsey CEO. He said that it's not a decade, it's a century of the India. तो एक बहुत लंबे पीरियड के लिए आज हमारा अमृत काल पीरियड विच इज़ बेसिकली जिसको हम बोलते थे सोने की चिड़िया, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज बेसिकली दिस विच इज़ द वेल्दी इंडियंस. सो ऑल योर इन्वेस्टर्स विल बिकम वेल्दी. ये आज इफ यू लुक एट फॉर एग्जाम्पल number of people, those who are in the lower income group, that will keep on reducing. From 43%, it will become 8%. And you see the number of people, those who are wealthy, they will actually continue to grow, and that pyramid is going to grow. So you have huge, large number of wealthy investors which you need to manage, and therefore you need to think about how do we manage those investors, what we do need to do to ensure that they are there with you. And that is the journey. It is only because if you can create happy investors, the entire experience. So Amrit Kaal mein agar grow karna hai, to only one thing which you have to look at, because if you are creating happy investors, then you will create wealth for them, and then your business also will grow in a multiplier form. So first is the allocation trends which we look at and what needs to change. If you look at the existing investors, in mutual fund today, it is less than 10%. I think Chandni was also talking about that everybody is only investing in equity. There is nobody who is talking about fixed income. There is so much of opportunity across all the products in the mutual fund. So first thing, if we want to create happy investors and happy experience, we need to move the customer allocations much higher in the mutual fund, from whether it is bank deposits or other insurance products, and where the large amount of money is there. So that's the first actionable as an MFD which we need to do. The second, when we look at in terms of where the individual investors assets are held, 91% is only in equity. So mutual fund is much bigger than equity. You have range of hybrid products, you have range of fixed income product, you have even a product for a day. Means, that product, even for when you are investing in an overnight fund, it has beaten a savings bank account return. So clearly आपके पास पे product अच्छा है, you have best products which are available, and we need to really allocate now investors allocation towards fixed income, hybrid, and these kind of products if we want to create happy investor experience. When you look at in terms of the new folios, and this is the data for this year close to 2 crore new folios have come in. New folios have been opened, but 1.56 crores are only in equity. So clearly it is only largely equity where we are getting new investors, and I think that we are not creating happy investors, because we know what we have done. For example, if you look at the number of folios also which are there in various categories, even in equity, sectorial fund, small cap and mid cap has 46% of the folios in the entire industry. Now I am sure definitely you will agree that our investors today, the entry product should be either hybrid funds or the large cap funds and diversified fund, rather than giving them sectorial fund, small cap and mid cap. So पहले दाल चावल देना है, हमने उनको पिज़्ज़ा और चाइनीज़ दे दिया है. Correct. So that is really a huge challenge which we have, and that's how we are creating happy investors. So if we are in Amrit Kaal MMFD and we have to create happy investors, we have to increase the diversification quotient, give them hybrid products. If you look at the number of folios in hybrid, it is less than what we have in the entire sector fund. Can you just think about it? In sectorial funds and thematic fund, we have more than 3 crore investors. But in the entire hybrid fund category, across all the products, we have less than 2 crores. Even if you look at small cap and mid cap as a single category, they have large number of folios and more investors than the entire hybrid fund put together. So are we creating happy investors through this? Are we creating a practice which is for Amrit Kaal? Are they on the wealth creation journey? These are the questions which you need to answer for your business. In terms of mutual fund, जब हम बोलते हैं, हम सबसे बात करते हैं लंबी 3 साल 5 साल 10 साल के लिए. But what is the investor behavior? When you look at in terms of the way the redemption is there, only 44% of the industry AUM get redeemed within 2 years. Correct? So what we need to do about it? Are we creating happy investors? Because investors are emotional creatures. The fear and greed will come into play. They will actually come at the wrong time. They will redeem at the wrong time. And therefore, they will have an unhappy experience. So clearly what we need to do is, as an Amrit Kaal MFD, can we give them a goal-based investment? Can we label their investments to certain goals so that they stay committed to their goals and we can help them actually commit to their entire journey and stay elongated. If you look at SIP we all have been talking about. SIP is a revolution, definitely in Indian market, more than 10 crore of SIP account. But you look at the number of SIP accounts which are getting closed. 5.21 crore SIP accounts got closed in this year. Are we creating again happy investor experience? Yes, the markets are volatile. That will be the nature of the market. But due to that volatility, investors are reacting to it and they are stopping their SIP. Are we creating happy investors? As an Amrit Kaal MFD, in this Amrit Kaal MFD, can we look at a solution which is goal-based SIPs? Can we name every goal which investors are doing SIP for, and therefore help them navigate their entire journey, help them navigate their entire volatility? Women investors, I think we are in the summit where we are talking about women distributors. Women investors, when you look at their average in terms of retention, it is increasing. And therefore, I think we need to ask that in our business, how many women investors are there? And can we increase our allocation of the women investors? Can we get every time whenever in our family, when we are meeting, can we open the folios of the women? Because the data is there with us that the women investors stay for more period. Their retention is much higher. So which is good for business in terms of our retention, and it is also good for the overall growth of our business. So you can expand your women investor base. The way Alpaji is doing specific initiatives for helping the women distributors, can we do specific initiatives for women investors, getting them into the industry? 3S, I will talk about power of 3S, and I think at Canara Robeco, beyond SIP, we have been talking about it. SIP, we all know, this is one solution for the multiple goals, whether it is near-term goals, whether it is long-term goals. But what about STP? And I'll just give you a small example, and that you can use STP for your asset allocation, for your investors. You can get large amount of money which is lying there in the bank deposit and actually park that in liquid funds and fixed income fund. And I have used one simple example where investor has invested 1 crore, 6% return assumption, and let's say you have invested in a liquid fund with only 50,000 rupees of monthly STP. The appreciation only has become 1.28 crores over a period of 10 years, while the appreciation in the liquid fund is 60 lakhs. You look at the difference in the corpus. If you have only invested in the liquid fund or in any debt fund which has given 6% return, the corpus is 1.6 crores. But if you have just invested the appreciation part, which is the 6% part, which is 50,000 rupees per month, your entire corpus is 2.28 crores. The customer and the investor who are getting an experience of 6%, by this small, just in terms of transferring that appreciation, you can make the overall return at 8.5%. So will it help you get happy investors by doing the STP? correct? And these are the tools which you can use, which are available. SWP, again, we all know about the kind of solutions which are available, and these are again examples. And let me tell you, these are live examples. I don't want to tell you about the fund, but these are live examples from the fund. So you have our own, we don't have to prove it in our mutual fund industry. We have proved, given that experience to the investors, but it is only about giving those tools, giving these options to the investor and using them. So use the power of 3S, which is SIP, STP and SWP. Again, I think we are talking about Gen Z and we are talking about Gen Z investors. Yes, instant gratification is that they are looking at, but we all know the wealth creation is all because of this power of compounding. And we all have learned, I have also learned that in my school, this equation, but I think clearly, and I would be very frank that when I joined this industry, I think I have actually experienced it. So we have to educate all our investors on this power of compounding. Let's not focus on the R, which is not, because R is not in our control. What is in our control is only N and P. So we have to put in more and more allocation from other assets to mutual funds, and N is in terms of our time, and that these are the only two things which are in our control. I think 90% of our time, 90% of our conversation should be there on these two aspects rather than on market, rather than in terms of what the NAV is, because that is not in your control. So that's how you can create happy investors. Greed and fear, we all know that investors, they react, they are emotional creatures, but clearly, and I think this is one clear example from, if you look at the only investors who can actually create good experience, they can only become wealthy if they are invested the entire journey, and that's how they have been able to get closer to 12% return, CAGR return. But even if you have missed 10 best days, your return percentage actually is 6%. If you have missed 20 days, your return experience is only 3 days. And if you have missed 30 best days, your return experience is only less than 1%. So the nature of equity is like this, that if you stay invested for all the season, then how you can create happy investors. So please, as an Amrit Kaal MFD, work with investors on it. Second is, I think we all are so much obsessed on AUM. I would suggest that, okay, from now onwards, let's take a vow that, okay, we will not be looking at AUM, but we will look at goal under management, correct? Now, if you actually start tracking your goals under management for your investors, it will give you a clear predictability in terms of your AUM growth as well, and what kind of business growth you will have. Second, also, you will be able to change the conversation with your investors. Also, forget about the NAV. Can we look at tracking what is the unit under management? Forget about in terms of creating a crorepati investors. Can we create millionaire or unit millionaires so that every investor of us, they have more and more units? And if you will explain those concepts and you will talk about those concepts, then in every volatility, then your investors will start celebrating. So every volatility we should celebrate, because at that point of time, we should become the collector of the units. We should be getting more units. And that's how you will create wealth for your investors in this Amrit Kaal period. There are two Amrit Kaal tools. We are very happy to launch this in this session. I think that's part of your kit, which has been there. And this is Investor Vision Board. This is for the first time that we are launching it. Here it is there in your kit. Shrikant Bhai tells me, please share your feedback. But what we believe is that rather than any track report in terms of what the funds are doing, what kind of return experiences which we have, I think this is one vision board. You please take your investor, every investor of yours, and an Amrit Kaal investor should have this vision board so that they know their entire journey of 2047. And it is there in your kit. Please give us the feedback. Why only investor? We said that, okay, if you are an Amrit Kaal MFD, why not your business vision board also? So we are also happy to launch this Amrit Kaal business vision board for all our distributor friends, and why I only talk about, journey of 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and it has number of investors which are there today, and goal under management. What is the goal under management you have? What are the units under management? And of course, AUM is a byproduct of it. It is not the first. And then you can plot your journey till 2047. So let that vision board drive you and drive your entire business, drive your entire next 25 years, which is once in a lifetime opportunity for all. all of us. And this is my last slide. I think if you look at in terms of Amrit Kaal, the only way you can create wealthy investors, you can create wealth for your investors is when you are Krishna to your clients. And the Krishna Sarthi to your client is let them help focus on the discipline investing, let them focus on their goals and avoid any kind of, help them in terms of avoiding any emotional decision making. That is what Krishna played. He didn't fought in that Mahabharat. He was the Sarthi to Arjuna. So all your investors are Arjuna and you are Krishna. The way Alpa ji is Krishna to all the distributors, okay, and Sandeep ji is there and Shrikant bhai is there in helping. So I think be Krishna to your clients, and that's the recipe to create Amrit Kaal investors and to create that kind of wealth for all your investors and for your business. So with this, thank you. Yeah, so these are two sheets which are there, which is one is the vision board for all your investors. I think it's part of your kit. You can go through this. Your investors can fill it. They can customize it. You can customize it for them. And, you know, they can actually paste it on, you know, place which is convenient to them. The second is the vision board, which is Amrit Kaal vision board for all the partners. And for these partners, again, we have mentioned the business metrics for you, and you can create a vision board for your practice, for your business. And again, I hope that keep on guiding you the right things, to do the right things for your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gaurav. Please, another round of applause for him. Please stay with us. I would like to invite Mr. Annapandi and Bala Murugan to come on stage to honor